Okay, we're almost to Sonic, and I feel all right. I went, well, I can't say I went 24 hours. What I did was I did Sonic yesterday for lunch, and then last night about 10 o'clock I got a little hungry, so I got two little small pieces of cheese that were they're about 3 or 4 inches, probably 3 inches long and about 2 inches wide. And I took a little bit of butter and put on them, and I ate the cheese and butter together to curb my appetite. But I didn't feel like eating a bunch of stuff last night, so all I did was just have those little 2 pieces of cheese with a little bit of butter on them, some real butter, and that was it. So I had my lunch, I had the cheese, and I slept. Woke up this morning, I didn't drink no water, I didn't do anything, I just dry fasted all the way. So I'm at that point now where I'm ready to pull up at Sonic, grab my lunch, completely dry fasted. I'll check my blood sugar and my ketones before and after, just so you guys get an idea of where I'm sitting, dry fasted wise. So I'm pulling the driveway right now, and I won't lie to you, I'm enjoying this. At first I thought it would make me feel bad. I thought, I wouldn't enjoy it. I thought it'd make my stomach hurt and all this other stuff. It's not what's happening at all. I'm actually really enjoying it, and it's sad because I ain't supposed to be enjoying this. Well, anyway. Pulling through the drive-thru right now.
Danny, can I help you?
Yes, can I have 6 of your hamburger patties with cheese?
What else, Brian?
Route 44 Coke Zero, light ice.
Thank you, driver.
Thank you. I'm gonna do the same thing every day for 14 days, as long as I can handle it, as long as I keep getting results. I woke up this morning feeling a little bit lighter. I was in a great mood. I slept good. My stomach wasn't really bothering me at all. So after yesterday's event, I didn't have the problem I thought I would. I even got a couple private messages from people asking, hey, what are you doing? You're gonna make yourself sick, and I'm worried about you and everything else. Nothing happened. I mean, you guys have to understand, I've been doing this longer than most of you guys have, like, overall. So I'm probably a little bit more healed than the average person, metabolically. But so metabolically, I'm probably okay compared to most people. It's probably one of the reasons why I can handle it. I don't have my type 2 diabetes anymore. I don't have problems with my digestive tract anymore. I'm not on antidepressants and anxiety medications from Iraq and everything that I've been through as a child. I don't take any of that stuff anymore. So chances are, I probably can handle this stuff better than the average person can. When I used to be 400 pounds, I could sit in this car and my belly would be touching the steering wheel. And now I've got this much room between the steering wheel. I mean, I got 14, 16 inches between the steering wheel and where my belly sits. I mean, I've been through this. I've been doing this a long time. Not as fast as some people. Some people lose really fast. I've seen people lose like 100+ pounds in 6 months, and I'm like, what? You know how long it took me to lose that much? It took forever. So, we were talking a little bit last night on a couple of my private Facebook. Some of you don't know, and you watch this, I have my own private Facebook group. So if you're just looking for extra help and you don't want to be on YouTube all the time, you can definitely look in the description under each one of my videos. I post my Patreon, which has my videos about my life, kind of what happened to me, and how I actually give extra help to people that need help. I have my private groups. I have my public group. So it's just a matter of what you want to do social media wise. But I got a lot of outlets for people as well. And then I have my own website, ketojourney.club. and it's starting to get quite a bit of content up there. I put like my keto barbecue homemade barbecue sauce recipe on there. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Very good. Thank you. But I got my keto cheesecake on there. I've got my keto pizza on there, which has been viewed probably more than anybody else in the United States privately. How you doing, sister?
Have a good day.
From another mister. The sister from another mister. So I'm finding now that no problem at all. No issue with the food, no issue with the diet soda. I don't drink or do any of that stuff normally at all. Like every once in a great while, I might stop and get like a Diet Pepsi. But I don't do that stuff anymore. And people would tell, oh, you're gonna hurt so bad, you're gonna cramp, and it didn't happen that way at all. Slept like a baby. Went home, I did my house chores, fed the horses, went out and brushed the horse, went to the store last night, bought a couple new cheap shirts so I can just to work out in and stuff. The only thing that made me feel bad last night was I stopped and got a bulletproof coffee, combat coffee from a local coffee shop called As the Crow Flies. And they only put one serving of cream and one serving of MCT oil in there. They don't do all that other stuff. I think they use coconut oil. And man, by the time I got, well, it was MCT oil. By the time I got just 15 minutes away, not even 15 minutes away, I noticed my stomach started really growling. And I got parked and walked out and I was headed to the store. And man, my stomach was, the acid reflux and my stomach was really acting up. That bulletproof coffee did not do me any justice at all. And then that was my first experience with having that MCT oil react that way in my body because, you know, a couple years ago, I didn't have a reaction like that to the MCT oil. But now, I've got a big reaction to the MCT oil. The heavy cream I've never had a problem with. MCT oil, I've kind of felt iffy about it before because it does really mess with some people's stomachs, especially if you're not used to consuming it all the time. It can actually induce like a diarrhea effect or a diuretic effect. Some people have to start out really slow and step it up slowly. I just took the full one serving last night, which that could have been the problem. So I'm going to check my blood glucose, my ketones real quick after. So recap real quick. I had my Sonic yesterday, my dirty day number 1. I had my drink. Last night I didn't eat anything. I went and ran around, I drank some water, and then about 10 o'clock I had 2 little small pieces of cheese with some butter on it. I dry fasted all night into today. No water, no nothing, all today. Now, still in front of you guys, nothing. I'm going to test my ketones and my blood sugar. I'm going to see what's changed since yesterday. If you guys remember, my blood sugar last night when we checked 4 hours after eating my meal, or 4.5 hours, was 90. And my ketones were 0.3. I was not in nutritional ketosis. So, I want to confirm that this is the same situation today, that it will knock me out of nutritional ketosis if I'm not in nutritional ketosis right now. What I'm doing is I'm grabbing the Lancet, I'm putting my charge in it. It's loaded. Put the top back on. Locked in. Set it to number 4 because I have really thick skin, so I gotta have it penetrate deep or it won't go. Fire up my Keto Mojo. Check my ketones first. It's loading. It's asking for my blood. I'm just going to go ahead and Okay. See what we got here. So it's saying I'm 0.4 millimolar. So it's 0.1 different from yesterday. Blood glucose strips. Okay, I did get some more blood to come out of that same spot. Okay, air. It wants me to put fresh blood in there. I guess it knew right away that that old blood been sitting there too long. It could tell. It said air, blood, and it showed a little drop. Okay. Fresh blood. Just checking. Glucose 91. So we'll see. It's definitely a little bit of a concern because my ketones aren't as high doing this, and my glucose is not as high, or my glucose is a little higher doing this. Normally I sit right at about 82, 85, somewhere in there. I don't know if the stress of my father being sick and stuff lately and having to move home has anything to do with it, but we'll see. We'll see if this is an experiment. I'm gonna roll with it and see what happens. I'm not a ketone chaser, so even if I'm not producing ketones normally, I'm not worried about that. A lot of people think the whole premise behind a ketogenic diet is being in ketosis, and that's not necessarily the case. You want that, but that's not the goal. The goal is to actually eliminate food and eat high fat, moderate protein, and low carb, and then let your body do what it does from there. Ketones and stuff come after that, but there are a lot of medical professionals that we follow, that we trust, that they even tell us that chasing ketones is not what you should be doing. Your whole goal should not be, let me figure out how I can get my ketones the highest. Your goal is to follow a ketogenic program and do the best that you can staying on it and let your body adjust accordingly. But on these keto groups and stuff, not my group, because my people know with them. I've been doing this for a really long time. I don't sugarcoat nothing. My people know that that's not the goal. The goal is to eat really good quality food, which this is not so much that. The goal is to try to heal as much as you possibly can through whole food. And then, you know, if the ketones come, they come. If they don't, and they're always low all the time, you know, 0.6, point whatever, 0.7, 0.8, you're okay. The whole goal is to not have 2-point-something ketones. There's no study that shows that people lose weight off of a higher ketone range. There was actually a paper, an article that I read that said they monitored people that were between 0.8 and 2.5 ketone readings. People with 0.8 to 1.4, somewhere in there, lost more weight consecutively than the people with higher ketones. There's something to that, you know. A lot of times your body just doesn't, it has so much acetoacetate, which is the main ketone, in the system, and it hasn't regulated enough to stop it from being used, or stop it from spilling, that you show excessive ketones, or beta hydroxybutyrate in the system. If you've got a bunch of ketones floating around in your body, doesn't have a reason to use them, or you don't have an energy demand for it, you might read a higher ketone reading. But that doesn't necessarily mean that because you have a higher ketone reading that you're any healthier or you're in a better state than somebody that's got 1.0. So let that weigh on your mind a little bit, and I'm gonna get off of here. I'm gonna eat this, and then when I go home tonight, it's 12:30 right now, so 4 hours from now, 4.5 hours from now would be 5 o'clock. So when I get out of work at 5 o'clock, will be the same time that I got out of work, or the same time that I read my ketones yesterday. And I'll do the same thing in the exact same pattern, the exact same way, eating the exact same food. So we'll definitely go from there. and I'll update you guys tonight with a blood glucose reading when I get off, and then tomorrow I'll do a recap on how I sleep and how I feel overnight. Thank you guys. I appreciate you again. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for being here.